All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So thank you so much for coming in. As always, it's never boring around here in this space with Bitcoin miners, right? It's always some kind of drama. So tonight's drama is Cleanspark getting basically trading halted on Nasdaq today. That happened around 422 or something like that. There was a code with it, T12. We'll take a look at what the code is and what the possibilities might be. There's a lot of speculations happening out there as far as what it could be. It could be that they're getting bought out. It means that they have issues or something like that, or they're doing the ATM. We'll cover all that stuff here, give you guys my thoughts on it, and yeah, we'll take a look at that. The only other thing that we have is Riot. I finally got all the Riot numbers in for their quarterly results based on their 10Q. So that's good. We'll take a look at all those there, and then we'll look at some other minor metrics, just a couple of them really, and it should be pretty easy here, pretty sweet. Bitcoin's going up today as well. Miners were up today, so it was a good day. It's a nice continuation this week. As always, you guys know, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research, and full disclosure down below that. Hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And also, I wanted to let you guys know that we're doing it a little bit early today, only because my father-in-law is flying in from Europe. So he's going to be here in probably about an hour. I'm guessing roughly about an hour. So I thought it would be kind of rude that, he's coming in here and then I would be doing this later on. So luckily there wasn't a lot of stuff happening today, just a couple of things. We'll get through it. But that's the reason why. So please don't get used to these times. I'd love to do it these times, but it's tough gathering all the data for these guys, spending time with the family, working full time. So I appreciate you guys still coming in at those late hours. All right, but Bitcoin today. Bitcoin had a kind of wild day a little bit today. It was down, it was up. It finished up in the green, though, so that was good. We were up just a little bit on Bitcoin. We were up 0.36. We did reach a new all-time high again. We keep seeing this day in and day out now, it seems like, which is good. I don't mind it, right? I'd rather be saying that than we're going down and things like that. So this was actually pretty good. We were up to 76,999. Really close to 77,000 here. So we could, based on what I'm seeing here at least, we had also the Fed lower rates again today, down 25 basis points. So that was good. This month we could get to like 85, 90,000 maybe. We'll see how it goes, but it's looking pretty good so far. Miners for the most part, we're also in the green here. We only had a couple that were in the red, not much. So it was a good day for the miners. We had Bitfarms being up 5% roughly. Digital up being just a little bit, almost 1%. BitD up being 4.5%. Cypher was actually down just a little bit here today. Had a huge run up yesterday. So a little profit taken there possibly. Cleanspark was up 4.5% roughly. CORZ was up 14% today. It had a really good day today. Hive was also up 11%. Hut was up 2%. IREN was up 1.5%. Mara was down just a little bit here, 0.05%. Red is up 1% and change. Wolf was up 7%. So a good day all in all. What else do we want to take a look at here? I think that's it on it. We're going to take a look at the 1 hour chart, see where the RSI is. RSI is still looking pretty good on the 1 hour chart. And you can see here, we're under 70. We could go up higher as well. On the 15-minute chart here, we've been bouncing off of these lines here a little bit. What are those? The 50 and the 100 moving averages on it, looks like. And 4 hour chart. RSI is still looking good on that one. We've been going sideways on a little bit, bouncing up and down, but more or less sideways. Well, look at the price action here from where it's still going up higher. So that's a good sign to me, but we'll see how it goes. All right. Now, as far as Bitcoin network hash rate really quick, we always check this daily. Let me refresh this really quick. It has been coming down as well. On the 7-day average, down to 710. Let's take a look at the daily here really quick. Not that one. That one. Oh, we're going back up here. Did we reach a new all-time high? No. 788 exahash. Prior all-time high was 803 exahash here. On it. Looking at the 30-day average as well, that's going back up again. 707 exahash, that's the new high here for the 30-day average on it. Okay, so that's it. Now, the big story obviously was Cleanspark getting halted today. Everybody's speculating what happened there. And we can see that here. Where's it at? Right there. Cleanspark. Both Cleanspark and Cleanspark W shares, warrants, so these are warrants, these are regular shares, were halted at 16:22. So that's military time or 24-hour time. It's actually 4:22. I believe that's Eastern time. Yeah, that is Eastern time. So 4:20 Eastern time. So that would have been like 3:22 my time. So it's after the market closed anyways. But they were stopped and we haven't heard anything else from them. So there's some speculations happening. And here's some of the speculations that we do have here. So Josh from Twitter, he wrote, interesting note to add to the Cleanspark pending news. There was a 1.2 million share print filed at market close today. This is the largest block print in the last 40 days at least. Don't know what that means, but that's definitely pretty sizable there. Right, 1.2 million. So maybe is it because of that? Could be. Not sure. Let's see. Cantonese Cat says, I don't have any inside information, but big money might. And Cleanspark recently had a lot of things going for it, including reducing retail, increasing whale accumulation so far, with the bullish engulfing candle this week, and Black Cat Whale by Signal Flash. So he's still bullish on it. What else? Okay. Uphill Market says, here to clarify Cleanspark warrants. Warrants are created via equity raised by Cleanspark, which can be purchased by investors. It then gives the purchaser of the warrants the right to buy the stock at 165 at expiration, in this case, 12/29/2028. So basically, that's Stocker Timble, symbol. Wow. So Josh wrote this. Cleanspark halted on code 212. This means information is being requested by Nasdaq. So, right, what does that actually mean? I have strong belief that Cleanspark just got bought out. We will see whenever more news is out. And somebody else, I was on the space with Mike. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his last name. You guys know who I'm talking about. Oh gosh, Mike. You guys know Mike on X all the time. Forgive me if I forgot his last name really quick. Brain fart. But he had a couple of people on there talking about this as well. Some were saying that the T12 code historically, at least within the last couple of months, has meant of a buyout. They've seen it in other companies where it's been a buyout. So the question then went on to where could this, or who could actually buy them out? And Mike Alfred, there we go. Mike Alfred actually stated that it's hypothetical that if it is a buyout, it would more than likely be maybe a hyperscaler where they might offer up like, maybe $10 billion. He thought that might be a fair value or something like that. So that would be a nice chunk of change increase from where it is, but it's still far cry away from where we think it actually could go to. So I don't know, right? There's a lot of speculation on this as far as what it could be. It could also be that their warrants here that they got, let's see here, warrants were added just a couple of days ago, at least for what I'm seeing here on the Nasdaq. So this is the ticker symbol CLSKW, and these are the warrants. And if you go from the bottom here, this was back on Tuesday this week. So in just 3 days, the warrants have gone up almost like 1,000% here. Let's see. You can see right about there, right? It's like 900% from the bottom to the top. Could that be the reason why? Are they asking what's going on there? Today it was also up huge today. It was up, let's see here, from where it started out to where it ended up, it was up 226%. Is that a reason for it? Could be, not sure. Could they also be doing an ATM? Possibly, right? But they still only used up their 800 million ATM, so why would they add another ATM there? But then that wouldn't trigger this halt. So it's something having to do either with this, or I think maybe, I'm giving it a very, very low chance that it's a buyout. But if it is a buyout, it's going to have to be really, really big, I believe, right? It's going to have to be significant. It's not going to be something that's going to be small. Because right now, if we look at the market caps for all these guys here, we can see that Cleanspark is at 3.3 billion right now. So a 10 billion mark buyout for them would be what? Roughly a 3x from where it is right now. Could a hyperscaler do that? Yeah, I mean, it's chump change to those guys, right? Could they figure out a way to make it worth their while? Yep. Cleanspark does have a lot of sites all over the place. So maybe that's appealing to them as well, instead of having just one large site, especially if they're looking at making inference and things like that with HPC-AI. You want to have things closer to different regions and metropolitan areas. Some of the stuff that Cleanspark does have is kind of out there a little bit ways, but still not too far away. So maybe that is appealing there. Not sure. One thing we will know is in time, I think we will find out what it is. Hopefully, we'll find out what was the reason actually for this halt in trading. And at that time, we'll either celebrate or we'll cry. But right now, it's nothing burger until we actually find out something more concrete on this. Okay, so we'll get into your guys' thoughts on it when we get into the Q&A side of things here. But those are the possibilities of what it could be. Time will tell, right? But there's always drama here in the space, so it always keeps it exciting. So definitely not for the faint of heart, I think, because some people might have a heart attack when they see these types of things happening. All right, let's get into Riot here really quick as well while we're at it. So Riot released their numbers last week, but they didn't provide the 10Q until the 4th. I just checked it yesterday, or this morning actually I checked it, and I saw the 10Q finally being out. So I'm like, okay, time to update this, see where they stand on all this stuff, because we did cover it a little bit, but we didn't go into all the nitty gritty on Riot here. So Right now it has 332 million shares, market cap 4.1 billion. They've done a very, very nice job here over the last couple of weeks, getting their stock price up and everything. They've been improving on operations as well, which is good to see. Uptime has been improving also. So a lot of good things happening here for Riot, it seems like. They didn't have really good quarterly results, but the other things are getting much better for them. So in the 12-week, we got 18% increase. 8 weeks, they're up 31%. 4 weeks, they're up 12%. And last week, they were only down 2%. Right? Current hash rate about 29.4 exahash. Future hash rate they're supposed to get to, I believe, they're talking about 35 exahash, something like that, 35, 36, somewhere around there. So that's fine. Huge hodl, 10,128. That's valued about 716 million right now in Bitcoin. Right? We covered the monthly updates here. Here's the last 4 quarters and the current quarter estimated revenue. So they came in at 67.49 for Q3, which is a nice increase over 55. And then this current quarter, I'm estimating them to be about 92 million. And this is just for self-mining right now. And that might change. Well, it will change, especially if Bitcoin goes up in value. And if they continue to improve their operational uptime, that'll also help out. Last 4 quarters, operating costs, self-mining, minus depreciation, we're looking at about 51,000 is what I'm getting here for them, including depreciation. I think they said that they were like 47 all in, I believe, or something like that. So I'm pretty close to it. They might be doing some other things with the numbers that I don't have. Well, I probably could have access to, but it would take me a while to figure it all out. But we're close enough, I think. Let's see here. Okay. Why do I have this twice? This isn't, that shouldn't be it. That should be costs. Yeah, self-mining. Okay. Yeah, so those are all in cost, 51 million right there. Sorry, that per Bitcoin. That was my bad. Bitcoin's down here. Cost to mine 1 Bitcoin minus depreciation, 46, right? I think that's what they said, 46, 47,000, somewhere around there. So that's been increasing. That's kind of what we've been seeing with a lot of these miners here. Bitcoin mine quarterly is starting to pick back up as their operations are improving. So they're up to 1,104 here in Q3. Should have even more than that in Q4 now. So that'll be good to look at that. Debt to equity, also pretty low, 0.0459, which is good. And the current ratio is still really good, 5.67, meaning they can pay their debt 5 times over. So that's good. And then total current assets decreased a little bit here to 716 million. And then we got total current liabilities, also pretty low, 126 million. So not a big deal there. All right, looking at their actual numbers here for Q3. Let's see if we can maybe, I don't know if I want to do that. We'll leave it as this. Probably should hide some of this other stuff in here. It's getting kind of long. We'll look at some of these things up top here. Assets we talked about, 716 million, so that's fine. Total assets, 2.9 billion. That's a nice increase over the prior quarter. Current liabilities, we talked about that as well, 126 million. Total liabilities, 173 million. That's still not bad. Really good, healthy balance sheet there. Stockholder liabilities or total liabilities and stockholder equity, 2.9 billion there. Really good. Revenues, improvement on Bitcoin mining revenue, so that was good. Engineering actually went up also to 12.6 from 9.6, so that's good. Other revenues stayed pretty much flat, more or less. Total revenue increased to 84 million from 70 million, so that's good there. Expenses here. Cost of revenues exclusive of depreciation and amortization shown below. Okay, so 51 million here for mining. And so kind of high up there, right? But they also get the power credits of what it was like 12 or 13 million in power credits, whatever they got. That would have lowered it as well. Engineering was 13 million, so that's kind of high. So they lost money on engineering. 12.6 here to 13, they lost money on that one. What else we have here? That's kind of interesting. Selling general administration went up a little bit here, about 5 million to 66 million. Depreciation and amortization, 60 million, huge increase there, almost double from where they were. Change in fair value of Bitcoin. They got a gain on it a little bit, so that's negative 8.5 million there. What else? The change in fair value of derivative assets, 24. That's that's definitely a wild change there from the prior month. And then power curtailment credits here was 12 million, like I talked about. So gross profit operating income was negative 121 million. Quite a bit there. Operating expenses, what else here do we have here? Okay, income loss before taxes, negative 154 million. Net loss 154. They lost 54 cents per share on that. If we take out the depreciation, it would have been at negative 33 cents on it, so it would have been a little bit better, right? On it. Okay, so not too bad. Well, it was bad, but it wasn't too bad, I guess you could say. All right, customizing 1 Bitcoin, we talked about that, 46. So that actually came down from, no, it went up from 41 on Q2. What else do we have here? Debt to equity, we covered that. Book value of equity is 2.7 billion. Price to book ratio 1.5, roughly. Enterprise value 3.2 billion. EBITDA was negative 89 million here. EV to EBITDA was negative 36. Debt to EBITDA was negative 1.9. Revenue was 84 million here. And general administrative compensation was 66. So 78% of the revenue was general administrative compensation. That's crazy. That's way, 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 way too high. So they got to definitely fix that. They got to get to scale quickly here. What I mean by getting to scale is the more you're able to generate revenue from your future growth, right? So as they increase their hash rate, all that stuff, that will be a much smaller percentage of their cost there, as long as their costs stay relatively low, or at least stay where they are a little bit. I'm sure they're going to increase a little bit here. But get those things, get the other part where they're making more revenue from Bitcoin mining and all that stuff, get that increase. That should lower the percentage of what it is for general administrative compensation, because that is just ridiculous right now. Yes, like 30 million of that was probably the share-based compensation, but still not good on it. So that's what we have here for Riot. Trending in the right direction, I believe. Operations are improving, which is good, which is what we want to see. And they're continuing to grow. They got plans to grow even next year further. So Bitcoin going up in value, that's going to help them out as well. And then I updated all of my numbers here to include the latest numbers here. And I did tell you guys I was off by only like 0.03% on the Bitcoin mining side of revenue here. This was my estimate here. They came in just slightly below where I had them. Roughly, what was that? 21,000 below from where I was. So really good. I'm really happy with that number. All right. Now, as far as where do I see them being valued right now, based on their previous quarters, right, which we're looking at Q4, Q1, Q2, Q1, Q2, and Q3, and looking at the current quarter here, estimated right now, I'm in between 872 and 1309. They're at 1239. This would signify that they're fairly valued, but if we use the revenue that they got in October times 12 months, just for averages, right, things stay the same. They're looking at like 1124 to 1685, still being more or less fairly valued right there. But I believe with Bitcoin going up in value and everything else, they're definitely going to catch a better bid going forward, I think, just like all the other miners will. It's just going to depend on their operations, how well can they execute on their future growth, and how much closer can they get to their stated goal of getting to 95% uptime for the year. So that'll be a big question there. If they can do that, they got a huge hodl. They shouldn't have a problem here. It's basically off to the races with Bitcoin going up in value right now. All right. So that's it on that one. And then a couple of metrics I wanted to share with you guys here. I shared these on Twitter as well. Let's see here. One of them was the enterprise metrics here for BTC mined for October. So the darker numbers here, let me see if I can maybe zoom this in a little bit more for you guys so you guys can see it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we're looking at these numbers over here. Those are the amount mined, right? So 656 for Marathon, 655 for Cleanspark, 369 for Core, and then we're looking at basically the enterprise value that they have divided by the BTC mine, and then we're getting the values for what they're being valued per Bitcoin per enterprise value, I guess, is the way to look at it, right? The ones that are lower lead me to believe that they are more undervalued than the ones that are up here higher, right? We got TerraWolf only mining 150 Bitcoin, but they're being valued at 20 million per Bitcoin basically being mined. Which is just a little wild there. Going over here, then you got Cypher, right? Also 168 Bitcoin being mined, valued at 14.3 million per Bitcoin. And enterprise value, HUT, 100 Bitcoin being valued at 13.5 million. Core, 369 being valued at 12. BitDeer, 174, 6.4. It's kind of strange also that we have kind of like this walls here, like these steps. The Bitfarms, Iris, and Cleanspark are like at this one point here. And then you got Marathon, Riot, and BitDeer being at this next level here, right around the 6 million range. And then you got ones that are just way out here. That's kind of strange. I would have thought it would have been more like a step, right, going forward. But it's just kind of weird that these three, which I keep saying are the most undervalued in this current time frame, and they're popping up right here, right, pretty evenly being valued. So I would expect that eventually in time, these will move down here, right? Especially as we go through the bull run, but time will tell. All right, so that's interesting to take a look at there. And then also we have the sats that we look at on this. So I look at two ways. I mean, the hodl thing, you can take a look at that. That's kind of good to look at. I don't put a lot of weight into this, barely any weight actually. But HODL sats, so sats per share, right? So what's their HODL, and then how many sats are there per share of that? So you got basically with HUT 8, you're getting 10,002 sats per share of HODL. Marathon, 9,359 sats per share. Cleanspark, 3,506. Riot, 3,288. Hive, 2,220. Cypher, 410. And Bitfarms, 263. Right. This is the one down here where I look at sats per share, just with not taking even HODL into it. Just looking at straight shares, right? How many sats did they mine per share in October? The higher the number, the better, right? And the way I look at it this way is if a company mines, just for example, right? Cleanspark, we'll use Cleanspark here because they're at the top. So they're at 263 sats per share. The way I translate this into would be looking at it like this. The companies that have higher numbers should, in theory, have higher earnings per share, as long as their costs are in control, right? So that's kind of the way I would look at it that way. And then that leads me to believe when you look at this, where they are producing here, and then you look at the other metrics that we looked at, like enterprise value or the enterprise value for BTC mine and things like that, and you see that they're way down there, there's definitely a disparity between those two, and it's pretty big disparity right now. So eventually I think those are going to have to even out, where either, the prices of their shares are going to have to go up, their enterprise value is going to have to go up to be more in line with what they're actually producing here. So that's kind of the way I look at it. It's an interesting stat here, and it was recommended to be by, I believe it was a Patreon member and a YouTube viewer as well, that he said that a lot of the hedge funds and things like that, they look at this almost like entirely. But kind of interesting to take a look at that. Let me know what you guys think of this. All right, but that's all going to be included into Patreon members' post when I do that, when I share with you guys the spreadsheet here. And as always, the link for the Patreon membership is down in the description below. $8 a month. You might be able to find a couple spots, 4 and 5. And there's a discount if you do the annual subscription. Plus, you get access to the private Discord server as well. All right, there's my sales pitch. Let's call it a day. Let's get into your guys' questions here, see what you guys have to say. Not that one. Did not want to do that. Q&A. That one. That's the one I wanted to do. Okay. All right. So pretty easy day today. We'll see what happens with Cleanspark tomorrow. That is definitely fascinating because Cleanspark's my biggest bag right now. Out of all these guys, I got Cleanspark, IREN. IREN's my third position, and then Bitfarms is down. IREN's my second position. Bitfarms is my third position. All right. Okay. Let me catch up a little bit here with your guys' questions and comments. All right. Okay. What would happen to my Cleanspark call options if they got bought out by another company? Good question. Not sure. I don't do options, so maybe somebody else can help you out here. Okay. Why are mining companies lagging? Where do you see them lagging? Bitcoin was up today just a little bit, 1%, even less than that actually when it finished up. Miners were 3, 4, 5%, and at one point they're still doing better than Bitcoin is. Yesterday, Bitcoin was up close to 10%, 9% something. Miners were up 20%, 30%. They're still outperforming Bitcoin. All right. Question. Hi, Sebastian. Which miners are currently, in your opinion, the most interesting ones for a positive buyout by a hyperscaler? Positive buyouts, depending what the hyperscalers are looking for. Are they looking for these mega sites, or are they looking for these maybe smaller sites that are spread out, right, where they can do inference on those? I've heard stories that Microsoft is looking to get more into the inference side of things than the large language models. And so that would lead me to believe that maybe these smaller sites might be depending where they're located, right? We'd have to look at where all of these guys have their sites and how far away they are from the metropolitan areas and things like that. But in general, I would think Cypher, IREN, TeraWolf as well. What's the other one? Cleanspark has like those more multi little sites, like between 20 megawatts to like 200 megawatt sites. So that's a question mark there. Who else? I wouldn't say Bitfarms. Bitfarms doesn't have much in the United States. They have stuff in Paraguay, Canada, some stuff in the United States. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, they might buy out a site from Bitfarms or something like that. Who else do we have here? Riot has a huge site, right? But that's kind of out in the boonies a little bit. Marathon has multiple sites as well. Could they go after one of those? Maybe. Yeah. Okay. What is price prediction for Marathon? Depending where Bitcoin goes. Bitcoin goes to 150,000. That's basically 2x from where it's at right now. We're looking at, they should be up at least 3 to 5x at that point. So that's kind of the way I would look at it. If Bitcoin goes to 200,000, 210,000, whatever it might be, that's 3x. You're looking at then they should be like more like 5 to 7x at that point. Okay. Let's see. Cleanspark announces agreement to acquire grid infrastructure based on an enterprise value of 155 million expansion plans. Yeah, but they already bought them. That's a done deal. That got finalized this week, I think it got finalized. All right. Let's see. Question, are Bitfarms and IREN both still your number one buys for most multiple expectations for this bull run? Them and Cleanspark as well. If I was able to buy, I'd be buying those three right now. I think they were undervalued. I mean, you guys saw that in the charts here a little bit, in the metrics. Okay, which miners have the ability to actually provide operational HPC services in 2025 other than CORZ? I believe Wolf is working on that, right? They're supposed to be doing that in Q1 and Q2 of next year. You got Bit Digital in there as well. IREN has potential there. Cypher, I don't think they're building out a HPC center or data center for that right now. They have sites that are possibly can be used for that. Who else? Hut 8, Hive, right? They already have some data centers and some things like that. They're doing it. I think that'd be it that I can think of right off the top of my head here. Okay, Kobe says, thanks for the content, man. You're very welcome. I wonder what price BTC needs to reach in order for Cleanspark to be profitable. They're already profitable at this point. They have a low cost. I think their cost to mine Bitcoin is 27,000. Add on top of it costs and things like that. You're looking maybe around the 40,000, somewhere around there, for them to be profitable. At least that's what I'm basing it off of Q2 numbers. So once we get, well, our Q2, their Q3, they're going to be providing the fiscal year-end numbers here later on, either this month or early next month. How high can Wolf go if Bitcoin hits 100,000? Do you think there will be a sell-off at 10 USD? Although, also thoughts on Chainlink. I see going to 100 USD. I don't know anything about Chainlink. I don't track any of the other altcoins. As far as Wolf is questionable to me. I don't know. I think it's way overvalued right now, to be honest with you guys. For Bitcoin mining, that is. If there is HPC I play with them, and that's a big if right now for me at least, that's kind of where the price is going on based on that. It's not going on because they're going to be getting to 50 exahash by early next year. It's based on the hope that there's going to be a HPC I play. You got two seasoned investors investing in them, right? That kind of sparked things a little bit and got the stock going. I'm worried that some investors might get rug pulled on there if they don't get a large customer in there, because it's just trading ridiculously high right now. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Seb. Your thoughts on what? Okay. Let's see here. Morpheus says sweet as long as buyout around 30 billion. Otherwise, don't bother. 30 billion. Wow. The stock is right now at what, 3 billion? You're looking at going at 10x on it. You're looking at $130 for the stock. That might be a little hard to swallow, I think. Unless Bitcoin goes to 200,000, 250,000. At that point, yeah, we could see that. But I'm still thinking we're going to be looking at about between 150 to 200,000 is my guess. My target was 180,000, so right in between there. All right. Let's see. Do you think Microsoft will add Bitcoin to its balance sheet? If so, then other Mag 7 will follow. If they do, I think the other ones will follow. Right? All it usually takes is just one of them to do it, and the other ones will also put in a little bit. They like to put in a lot, 1%, 2% into it. That'd be great. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, Musk moved all his BTC to a mystery wallet. He's buddies with Trump. Strategic reserve coming next year. Did Musk just buy Cleanspark to mine for the government? Oh, wow, that'd be one. They did all meet, didn't they? Trump met with the miners, Cleanspark, Riot, Marathon, I think, and others, a couple others there. Yeah, that's interesting. Then didn't even think about that, but I don't think that's going to happen though. See, Ben says, Mara was halted a month ago, and it turned out to be a nothing burger. I forgot the reason, but everyone was speculating MicroStrategy was buying them. They were being acquired, etc. Relax, peeps. Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow what it happens, right? We can speculate all day long. We can wish that we get a buyout offer at 20 billion. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But you never know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Either way, I'm up on it already. If we go up a little bit more, all right, it's not my ideal scenario at that point, right? Being bought out. Okay, I'll take the profits. I'll move it over to something else, especially if it's this early on in the bull cycle. I'll be happy with that. Move the profits over to somebody else, grow those even more, and I'll still be really happy. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Every T12 halt so far has been a buyout. This is a fact, not hopium. Okay, yeah, I talked that. That's a fact that happened, but we'll see what happens there. That would be crazy if it is a buyout. Let's see here. Silent cooking. Follow for follow. Yeah, I think I followed you yesterday. You have great videos on. You guys are building out your bardominium. I'm interested in that. I'd love to buy some land by a bardominium, so that's why I followed you guys there. Interesting to see how you guys are building that out, I think. If my memory's correct. Okay, let's see. Bitfarms still hitting 21 exahash by the end of the year, you think? We need more clarification from Ben and Bitfarms there as far as what's going on with Paraguay, right? Yeah, fingers crossed they get there, or at least get close, like 18, 19 exahash by the end of the year. But we really need to see good numbers here in November to get closer to like 15 exahash or something like that. We'll see. Okay. All right. Rest in peace. I just sold my Cleanspark options yesterday. Okay, nice. CORZ peak price for them? Oh, gosh. Well, we know what the revenue is going to be for the CoreWeave deal for the next 12 years, more or less, right? We can give them a multiple on that and figure out where they could be. That will depend on how many shares they have, and then how will they grow the Bitcoin mining side of things. Where is that going to be at? So based on this, I think in this bull cycle, we could see them between 30, 50, if not higher, maybe, depending. Do they get those block miners? When do they get those block miners installed? Things like that. Let's see. How are you feeling today, Seb? I'm feeling good. Feeling great. How are you guys? I hope you guys are feeling good. Let's see. Kaz says, days like these, I wish I had bigger Cleanspark bags. I mean, you always do. That's what's happening. We don't talk about Bitfarms. Yeah. We'll see. Ben's supposed to be on Anthony's and Bryce's channel. I gotta find out from them when he's coming on. I thought it was tomorrow or today, actually. But doesn't. Somebody posted it's like the 13th or something like that next week. When do you think a pullback is coming on Bitcoin? I think that's going to be coming. I think we can run up a little bit more, but we're going to see a little pullback. We always need a little pullback, whether it's 5, 10%, and then we go back up. So it's part of the cycle. It's when you see those, I think it's buy the dip. I don't think it's so that we're getting to the top yet. Okay. If it's a buyout, what price Cleanspark share price would be bought at? Well, I think Matt and Zach know exactly where they could possibly be valued at, between probably $40, $60 a share, especially in the bull run, maybe even north of that. So I don't think they're going to take anything I'm not going to say they're going to take anything less than that, but I think they would take something that was maybe close to that, maybe half that, or something like that. Half that would be, what, $30? That'd be roughly 2.5x from where it is right now. So we're looking at close to maybe like $8 to $10 billion, maybe. All cash offer, right? They would definitely have to think about it at that point. Okay, let's see. MicroStrategy or Mara? In the bull run, I think Mara would be a better bet. Let's see. But if Bitcoin is at 76,000, miners should be must higher. Miners are starting to catch up a little bit here. All right, what else you got? Okay. Am I the only one who thinks Bitfarm lacks in PR? Plenty of good news always come out of balance sheets while they should be news. Yeah, I agree with you. I think they could do a better job there as well. Okay. Hi, Seb. What is your opinion about compounding effect for BTC mining stocks? Well, one thing is you don't want to hold these guys forever. You want to hold them in the cycle. You want to hold them somewhere in the bear market when they're getting close to, or if they have already crashed, buy them then, dollar cost averaging into them if you can, hold them through the bull run, and then try dollar cost averaging out or sell at the. You're not gonna be able to time the peak, but close to the top, and then wait to see what happens after that. But yeah, these are not things you want to hold on to for a long time. I would say I've been holding on to them for now 2 years, 2022, 23. When did I get into them? Yeah, 2022, right? Yeah, I started buying in 2022. I didn't know where the bottom was going to be, so I started buying then. Dollar cost average into it in 2022, 2023, and now 2024 as well. So I've been holding them 3 years, and I'm going to get 1 year of good returns. So I've learned from my mistakes, basically. I said, where do you see Bitcoin price after Trump's winning? Heard that his family isn't involved in BTC. They might be. I'm not sure about that. Where do I think Bitcoin could go? I mean, now people are saying that if we get it as a reserve asset, oh my gosh, you get states putting it on a reserve asset, other things possibly as well. I mean, you never know. We could be way north of 200,000 at that point. But just, well, it'll depend on the adoption. When does it happen? Things like that. Okay, let's see. Can we do an update on Cleanspark operations? Interested to see what miners exactly they are running and what they are building. The enterprise value chart tells it all. They are very undervalued. Yeah. Ryan, we can take a look at it for sure. Let's take a look at it here really quick if you want. We'll show you the miners that they do have here and what they're got coming in. All right, let me go to my screen here. All right. So here's what we got. I believe these miners here, the ones in the red, are going to be swapped out. These are the older generation miners, the 100 terahash miners, and then they get a bunch of 140, 200 terahash miners, and they got some 234 terahash miners along with 300 terahash miners here. Those are the S21 Pro XP Hydros, and that gets us to 56, but if you take out, I believe, these over here, that gets us down to 50 exahash at that point. So they do have a lot still. What do they have installed here? We still need to install basically, what is that? We got, that's 74,000 miners. Yeah, 74,000 miners, 13,013. We got basically 100,000 more miners to install before everything is said and done at this point. And that looks like it's going to be, I'm guessing, sometime in maybe Q1 by the time that they're done with everything. Q1 or early Q2, based on what I'm just seeing here right now on it. Okay. Really good operations, right? We know that they operate really, really well. Uptime have always been pretty good here, right? Just going back to April here, 30 days out of April, 29.8 in May, 29 in June. July was 28 days. August was 28 days. September was 25 days, a little bit here. And then October, they're back up to 29 days roughly. And I have started taking some of these older generation miners out and putting newer machines in for them. So, yeah, always great operations, right? Great growth. I mean, you can see the growth here is fantastic on them. Look at this. Last October, they were at 10 exahash. They basically tripled that to 31 exahash already this year, in the last year, basically. Revenues are also increasing for them. HODL. Oh my gosh, look at this. Last year, 2,300 BTC HODL, now 8,700. Almost a 4x on the HODL increase. Revenues or BTC mining has been improving as well. So there's a lot of good things happening here, but they're still, I don't think, properly valued currently. They're at 1357. I think they should be somewhere between 1746 to 26. If we'll use the numbers from October for revenue times 12, I'm in between 2077 and 3116. And that's also probably very conservative on that end, right? There's also analysts that are saying $30. So I don't know if they're copying my data or they did something, but I've been pretty close to these miners for a long time. And it seems like now, lately, within the last probably 6 months to 9 months, the analysts are getting on board, seems like. So we'll see on it, right? Really good company there. That's why I've been getting into them for a long time here. And it's going to possibly work out very, very well as long as Bitcoin doesn't crash or something happen crazy, end of the world. All right, where do we go? Back here. All right, covered that. Let's see. Especially, do you think I should go 100% into Bitcoin for my long-term portfolio? How I'm currently 50 SPY 50 BTC. Curious on your thoughts. Long-term, as far as is like, is this your retirement cap? That's very, very. I can't speak. I'm way in the miners and Bitcoin as it is already. I'm like 100% in almost roughly on this stuff. So the advice, I'm not going to say it's advice, but the financial advisors always say, put in a little bit percentage of it into it all, right? So you got to do what you got to do. I can't tell you one way or another, and this is not financial advice. Never is, never was, never will be. All right, this is for entertainment, to show you guys what I have, what I'm doing, things like that. But definitely do not follow what I do to a T, because I'm okay if I get wrecked. I just don't want to make. I want to make sure you guys don't get wrecked, but you guys might get wrecked anyways. So I can't control it. You guys are, you control your own destiny, basically. Okay. Hitman says, but no one believes that Bitcoin goes that high, 150, 200,000. 90 to 120 is more accurate. And also it says that 2025 is a bear market. 2025 should not be a bear market. We just got past the halving event, which is in 2024. And then we go into this parabolic rise in Bitcoin between 6 months usually after the halving event. For a year, then we run up in Bitcoin, and then we have a bear market. So that would mean a bear market would be actually in 2026. Okay. Brett says, hey, Seb, I missed your thoughts on what's going on with Cleanspark after hours halt. There could be a couple of things, either a buyout. Their CLSKW shares went up on a huge run up here. Does that have anything to do with it? Maybe. I don't think it's going to be an ATM. I doubt that. So it's really maybe those two things or something else. We'll find out tomorrow. Okay. Could you please give some examples that would be the bad news to Cleanspark about this halt? Something to do with material things such as bad numbers in their quarterly results, or things like that. Anything financially related, that would be definitely bad news there, right? Depending on what it is. If they're off by a number on something, did they put something in the wrong category or something like that? All right, not a big deal. Was it was it something like that? Don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Samfood says, hi, Seb. Everybody is speculating on Cleanspark buyout. There could be news about they are buying another site or entering into HPC, etc. Could be that too. Yep. What else? Okay. From your charts and research, which A-class miner do you think is most undervalued? Hit the likes. Not financial advice. Your opinion. I still think. I mean, we can look at those. We've looked at those here in this just a little bit ago. But if you look at, let me see, enterprise value metrics, right? Look at this. I look at that to see where they are standing based on their future hash rate, current hash rate. You can see Bitfarms, Cleanspark, Iris is way undervalued, right? TerraWolf right now is being way overvalued. But if they get the HPC ideal, okay, then that might make more sense there. Core, I can understand why they're getting valued more on the HPC business as well. Cypher has some potential there as well. But these guys here, I mean, huge growth, especially for Cleanspark and Hive. Not Hive, sorry. Cleanspark and Iris, or IREN. I should really change that to IREN. Right, those guys, Bitfarms as well. Bitfarms has some baggage with Riot, kind of overhanging them with the shares that they own there. So that might be a reason why it's down. But eventually I think it'll go up, right? But these are the ones that I think are undervalued based on this. Also looking at it over here on, where is it, the sats as well. You can see how much they mine. Cleanspark, Iris, Marathon, right? They mine a lot of sats per share. Those guys should be valued higher there on that. So that's kind of where I would look at it. I would say Cleanspark, Iris, and then if you want to gamble a little bit, maybe get a little bit Bitfarms as well. All right, so that's it. Okay. Hey, Seb, I have one question. Taking 1 month BTC level, 122, why Bitfarms didn't even touch even BTC level? Any strong reason, almost 9 months, no surprise on upsides, still Seb holding Bitfarms shares. The only reason I'm doing that is because their operations, right? Their operations are great. They're supposed to have really good growth. And I agree with you. The performance of the stock has been terrible. So if you go by that, then yeah, I mean, people would probably be out of it by now. The reason I'm still holding on to it is because I'm seeing similar things that I saw with Cleanspark, right? There's no comparing Cleanspark to Bitfarms, but I'm seeing the similar types of things. Good operations, good growth happening for them. They're just not being loved right now. And it took a while for Cleanspark to also get loved by the institutions and investors and everybody else before the stock actually went on a run. If you go back to 2023, it wasn't until like the third quarter, fourth quarter of 2023 that Cleanspark went on a run, when everybody else was going on a run prior to that. Riot, Marathon, everybody else was running up 50, 60, 70%, 100%, whatever it might be, even more than that. Cleanspark was lagging behind everybody. So that's kind of the same thing that I'm seeing, and that's why I'm still in it right now. Okay, Roger says, Galaxy Digital announced today they have a hyperscaler HPCI deal in their Helios, Texas site. Huge news. They have is it a letter of intent, or it's not a deal yet. They announced that they have, there's a specific term for it. But I don't think it's a done deal yet. I probably have to look that up to find out exactly what that verbiage was here. Let me see if I can find that really quick. Galaxy Digital. Let's just do that. That's what we got here. I'm going to be able to find it. Okay. When was it? 11 hours ago, 4 hours ago. Crypto Slate. Okay. There was something also that Argo, which is hosting their machines at Galaxy site, they're not going to extend the contract there for them, right? Okay, let's take a look at this. Here we go, screen. So Galaxy Digital explores AI potential in response to Bitcoin mining slowdown. Galaxy's AI pivot aims to counteract Bitcoin mining losses and maximize future revenue opportunities. They do have that Helios site there, but they have, let me see, stupid commercials. How do I close that? Where's the close button? My gosh, where's the, really? Do I have to sign up for this? Oh, okay. Well, we'll look through this here. Currently, this facility has 200 megawatts in operation. Galaxy is investigating the feasibility of securing an additional 1.7 gigawatts of power for the site. However, moving forward with AI focus plan will depend on thorough due diligence and necessary approvals. And there was something on it where I saw that they did have like a letter of intent or something like that, but it wasn't set in stone here. Oh, where is it at? I don't think it was in here. I missed something, but yes, they do have something that they're talking about, basically moving over to HPCI as well. All right, let's go back here. All right. Bella Chow says, I can't see why Cypher Wolf are being in big premium versus Bitfarms. That rebalance will be fun. I see why. I completely understand why. Cypher Wolf are gaining share price on HPCI hype. That's what it is. Bitfarms doesn't have the hype. They got also Riot on their back. Right? There's reasons for all this stuff here. And a lot of the stuff we can't foresee, like the HPC AI stuff. We didn't foresee that happening and just came out of nowhere. Let's see. Do you think we had enough healthy pullback from Bitfarms? They tend to hit 2.3 and goes back down. Bitfarms flipped Riot, and now it is the worst performing stock year to date. Yeah, might have. I mean, Bitcoin going up, I think is going to continue to rise with Bitcoin going up. Bitfarms, that is. Okay. Let's see. Question: how high would Hive be when Bitcoin reaches 150,000? And what do you think about the miner from a growth perspective? From a growth perspective, they just want to maintain 1% of the network hash rate. That's what they want to do. That's what they're going to be doing. They've done that historically, at least. Right? They're a great operator, efficient, things like that. They operate great. As far as where could the stock be, 150,000 is 2x from here from Bitcoin, and that means that they could be probably 3 to 5x. I'm guessing somewhere around there, if it works out for them. Right? But they just got to grow as well. Could the lower growth, could that be impediment to them getting a higher premium on it? Maybe, right? They didn't do as well last time around when I was investing in them as well in the 2021 cycle, and you guys can probably hear my kids going crazy playing upstairs. Gosh, I lost my train of thought there. Trying to listen to what they were saying. But Hive last cycle, 2021, compared to like Marathon and Riot, did far worse as far as from the bottom to the top. Percentage gains, multiple X's, things like that. Okay, Frank says, with Frank Holmes recently talking about expansion in Paraguay, it makes me wonder about Bitfarms issues there and why they don't add miners there yet instead of hosting with SDIG. Thoughts? Yeah, that's one of the questions that I have that I want answered. What's going on with Paraguay? Are there issues? Is it just because maybe they're waiting on things to come in? What's the holdup there? What's the progress? Okay. So Cleanspark is undervalued. I think it's just a hold. It is undervalued, I think. Okay. Maybe talk about the lawsuit that IREN has. The lawsuit is based on their facility in Texas, right? Where the lawsuit is based on a short report that came out on them stating basically that they were overhyping their potential with HPCI at the, what's the name of the facility in Texas now? I'm drawing a blank. It's Corsicana, right? I think that's it. Is that, or is that Riot? Riot's got too many names in my head. But you guys know which site I'm talking about there in Texas. So that's the reason for it. I think it's a frivolous lawsuit, but we'll see where it goes. I mean, lots of people are saying it's a nothing burger, but that 1.2 million buy right before the close isn't out of nowhere. So yeah, somebody might be buying in there. Okay. Did Mara buy Cleanspark? No. Let's see. Okay. If and maybe a big if Cleanspark bought out, which miner do you recommend we roll our profits to? At that point, I'm probably just going to go, if Cleanspark gets bought out, I'm going to probably go into like IREN. I think IREN's still way undervalued from where they really should be. And I'm going to hold, I might put a little bit more into Bitfarms, but not like a large portion of that. I'll put in a smaller portion into it. All right. Any miner still currently undervalued? Yeah, saw that. Oh, let's see. Not sure if you answered. Yep, answered that already. All right. Hey, so what's going on with Sparky? We'll find out tomorrow. All right. 97 says, I have a little over 1,000 shares spread out my retirement and HSA accounts. Wish I had more. When things go up in value quickly, people will always say, I wish I had more, right? But here's the thing. That's the tough part, right? The tough part is buying these guys when they're beaten down and they're getting beaten down. It's like, that's the time to be buying, but that's the hardest part. That's the hardest time to be buying as well. So, right? You always have to look at it that way, that when things are, oh, it sounds like my father-in-law is here. So, or at least he's on the phone. Oh, you can hear my kids yelling upstairs. Wow, it's getting kind of rowdy up there. All right, let's see. Seb, what the heck is CLSKW? Do you know? That's the warrants there. Okay. Hey, Seb, do you see Riot reach previous all-time high around 80? Possibly. Bitcoin goes up past 180,000. I could see that. Okay. What else here? I'm trying to catch up to some of you guys' questions here. We're going to probably, well, we're getting close to an hour here. We're going to call it a day here. Okay, Ed says, how on earth Bitfarms could hit their 21 exahash target in just 6 more weeks? They couldn't add 5 exahash in 5 months. How do you expect them to add 9 exahash in 6 weeks? 4 exahash is going to be going to Stronghold, so that gets them to 15. And then the other sites, if they can, if they're just waiting on power, who knows? But we need answers. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be tough. Okay, which miner is the safest, which may mean a lesser return? Which is the riskiest, which may bring the highest return? So the riskiest returns are going to be the smaller miners, right? You're looking at Griffin Sato at that time. Who else? There's other ones. Soluna, some of the smaller ones, those might be really risky there. And then the safest one, I think, is possibly like Marathon, I would think, right? Huge hollow position. They have the name recognition. Cleanspark, I think, also would be in that boat. They've done really well here, but they're kind of undervalued right now from where they are, along with IREN, I would say. Okay. And what happens to Cleanspark holders if the company's bought out? Well, we get bought out at that point. If it's all cash deal, we get basically liquidated at that point, or whatever the stock price is at. We get cash for it. Okay. Yeah, Drago says, I was hearing that was related to CLSKW. That's kind of what I've been hearing also. Okay, if you had to buy one miner right now, which would you buy outside of Cleanspark and Bitfarms? Well, then that would be IREN. Okay. Let's see. Question, $30 right now for Cleanspark is 2.5. Rotate proceeds into miner of your choice, and you're way ahead of multiples going forward. That's a win for win-win. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Which mining company do I think is the best? I mean, there's a couple of them, right? Get the top ones that are growing really nicely. You'll do fine, I believe. Right? You guys always hear me talking about Cleanspark, IREN, and Bitfarms, but there's also Riot's improving. Marathon is doing pretty good as well. So there's quite a few out there. Just who's going to do the best? That's the question of the year, really. How much higher will Wolf go? I don't know. I mean, that one's been puzzling me for the last couple of weeks. You know, it just keeps going up and up and up with no news of any HPCAI deal there. So I don't know how much further it can go. Let's see here. Yeah, Cleanspark W was up 69%. Yeah, it was up like 900% in the last 2 days. Maybe that's the reason why. Okay. Getting close to the bottom here. Ryan celebrates 20 months of membership. Thank you, Ryan, for being here with that long. Let's see. Any other miners reporting thermal paste issues? IREN was reporting it also. Remember that? IREN had the T21s also. They had to send like 1 exahash back or 1.5 exahash back. That was also there. Okay. What is happening with Bitfarms? Why are they not pumping? Even Hive and Hut 8 is performing better. Any news from Ben? No news from Ben. And yeah, they're underperforming right now compared to the other miners when it comes to price appreciation in the stock. What's the reason there? They missed their target of 12 exahash. They give us a reason for that. It's the thermal paste on the machines that are getting warranty work done on them, and probably in China, I'm guessing, or wherever those things were made, wherever the warranty work is. I would think they would have, repair facilities here in the United States. Probably they probably do someplace, but it's just taking a long time for those to get repaired. And then they're also putting more machines into Stronghold. So what's going on with Paraguay? So there's a question there. Okay. Let's see. Why would we celebrate and why would we cry after Cleanspark halt lifted? What might happen? Well, if they get bought out, let's say $30 a share, right? Let's say 2.5x from where we are. That'd be great and everything. But what if they could have gone up to $60, $80, $100, maybe depending where Bitcoin goes, right? We could have better gains there. But you can also roll that money over into another miner that's going to do really well and probably make up for it. If not, maybe do even better. So that's why I'm saying, be happy and then cry at the end, trying to figure out where we're going to put that stuff and could we have gone up even higher. All right. Let's see. Waiting for Grayscale to buy some Bitfarms. That'd be nice. Roger here, Galaxy didn't renew hosting contract. Yeah, I heard that also. Okay. Seb, looking back at the previous cycle, few miners have 2 to 4x'd in December. Do you think we could see something like that this year? I have a feeling the Canadian ones will do that. Hive, DMG, Bitfarms. Yeah, I don't look at by month as far as what they did. I look at the longer term, from the bottoms to the tops. Where did they go? And especially once we get into bull run, what did they do then? And yeah, I don't know if they 2 to 4x'd in a single month. Some have done that. Some have gone up, at least a 2x or something like that or more. But I just don't know exactly if it was in December or not. Okay. Roger says, Mike, Novigrass will make it happen. We're also waiting on Galaxy to uplist to Nasdaq. Yeah. Mike is a smart guy there. Price prediction for Bit Digital. So Bit Digital, right, smaller miner, about 2.5 exahash. They don't have any plans to grow that further, at least not yet, at least recently. Original growth plan for this month, or not for this month, for this year was going to be 6 exahash. But that's kind of gone off to the wayside. So they're not looking to grow there. They're looking to grow more into HPCAI. So the big thing that's going to drive their price there going forward, I think, they still have Ethereum there, right? They're doing that whole thing. But I think it's going to be either Ethereum going up or it's going to be them getting new contracts and customers for HPC AI. That's going to be the driving force for going forward. So it's tough to figure out where that stock could be, really. I'm sure it's going to follow Bitcoin here because they're still mining Bitcoin here for the time being. Okay. What do you think will be tomorrow's earnings, good or bad? They have a crap ton of hodl, so they should get a little bit of a bounce from that. Bitcoin didn't go up much, but it was up a little bit over the prior quarter, so that should help. And that'll just depend on their costs. Where do their costs come in at? And they also have higher cost of electricity as well. So that's going to, I'm guessing they're probably still going to be negative EPS. All right. Alrighty. Okay. Cleanspark will be bought out by who? Do you have shareholders also benefit for however much they get bought out for? Do we have shareholders? Yeah, I mean, if you bought in lower price, right? You're going to do well. If you bought Cleanspark when it was at 24, okay, well, you're not going to get that much of a reprieve there. You're going to get $6 in possible value if it gets bought out by $30. We're just speculating here that it could be one of the hyperscalers. We don't know. We really don't know what's going on there. We'll find out tomorrow. Let's see here. Seb isn't a T1 stock for buyouts. That I don't know. I just looked at it today. It was a T12 for them. I'm not sure. They need more information. It's Nasdaq needs more information. Not sure what that's going to be about. All right. Seb, if Bitcoin hits 200,000, how much? Well, at that point, they should be at least. Where's IREN right now? Let me see. IREN is at, let's see, 11. So I think it might get close to like $80, $90, $100 at that point. Okay, let's see. I will scream with your kids if Cleanspark get bought out. 10 billion. Oh, well. Yeah. All right. What are your thoughts on Rivian? Do you think it's undervalued, and how do you think it'll go in a year? In a year, I don't know. Rivian was always going to be for me like a longer term play, 5 to 10 years, maybe even longer than that. I wanted to get to 1,000 shares. I did get to that, but the stock was not doing great here in the last 2 years. So I sold a bunch of it, basically 90% of it, still have 100 shares of it. And I put that all into the miners, which I think are going to do much better in the short term, right? The next year to 2 years. So I moved a lot of that over, but I may get back into it here. I like what they're doing there. But it's a tough business. Let's see here. You worried about Cleanspark halt? No. I think it's going to be a nothing burger. We'll find out. Let's see. Yeah, I can't see the Cleanspark team going for a buyout. I don't see that either, unless it's a significant amount. Then they have to entertain it. They have to go through the motions of it, because your ultimate goal is for do buy right by the shareholders. And if you get a buyout for about 10 billion, you're at 3 billion right now. That's what is that? 300% premium, or no, more than that, 3x premium roughly. Let's see. Hi, Sebastian. Sorry for joining late. Do you actually know what is happening with Cleanspark, or just speculate? We're speculating right now. We just went through a couple of the scenarios that it might be happening, but we really don't know. Are they going to trade tomorrow or not? Thank you. I think they will. I think they'll get that resolved, and they'll get that halt taken off tomorrow before trading starts. Hank, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming in, buddy. You have a great night too. Okay. Cleanspark or Riot on Bitcoin 300 at 300,000. Oh my gosh. Then we're looking at all these guys being over $100, 150, $200, somewhere around there. This is going to be crazy profitable for them at that point. Let's see. Michael says that Cleanspark buy print was massive, the 1.2 million. Okay. Okay. Are my OTM calls $30 at risk if Cleanspark is bought out for $20 a share or so? That, I don't know how the options work. Have a good night with, yes, enjoy the time with the family. Thank you so much. Have a great night too. I'm trying to catch up here. Okay. Good night, 7 interesting times. Let's see what fun tomorrow brings. Exactly. Yeah. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for coming in here. See, I'm catching up. Let's see. I believe the Helios site is bought from Argo, so it's actually bullish if they don't renew with Argo. Means they have other uses. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's any questions. Okay. How does it make sense to invest in Bitfarms, which would not make as much profit as other mining companies make? I mean, for personal investing, not care for their balance sheet. Well, they're just way undervalued, right? So could they actually get repriced once Bitcoin really starts going up to 80, 85, 90,000, whatever it might be? It could be just in an instant that it gets repriced within a couple weeks. So that's the thought process there. As long as they can show that they're growing towards the 21 exahash, I think we need to see that. Let's see here. If Cleanspark was bought out, could we get stuck in the stock waiting for the deal to complete while the other miners keep going? In other words, could we lose a chance to jump to IREN? If the deal is there that they're going to be getting bought out at $30 a share, the stock is going to $30 a share basically at that point, and you're more than able to sell at that point. You don't have to hold on to it. If it gets to $30 a share, you can sell it, put it over to somebody else, right? You don't have to wait for that deal to go through. Let's see here. Hank says, "Oh, I think Galaxy news coming. What if Cleanspark's buying out Galaxy?" Let's see here. Ian, thank you, Sebastian, for all you give here to us. Have a great night. You're very welcome. Thanks for coming in. Have a great night, too. Yeah, it's best to trade inside a tax-free retirement account if you can. Yeah, absolutely. If you can do that, it'd be great. What else here? Do you think having Bitfarms or Bitfarms having a lot of off-sites outside the U.S. is a disadvantage? But they're, I don't think so. But I could be wrong on that. Yeah, T12. So this is for Cleanspark. Is the Nasdaq requesting more info? Something fishy? Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. You're very welcome. Yeah, I'll try to get through as many questions as I can. I'm trying to finish up here a little bit early tonight. What if Cleanspark buyout is 20? Is that worth it? No. I would say no. Okay. Questioning why. Okay. Yeah. Jackie says here they're basically questioning why the warrant has soared. I mean, yeah, it's gone up like 900% from the bottom within the last 2-3 days. Let's see. Cleanspark, hit the like button. Yes, folks. If you can, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Weighted CORZ skyrocket today. Good numbers. Also, they talked about expanding out into. I think they were acquiring another site potentially there. CORZ is doing fantastically. Okay. Hemming says, happily to announce I'm finally profitable. My Riot holdings had bought like a year back for just under 12. Nice. Well, happy for you. Okay. Which miner you're most bullish on? Thoughts on MicroStrategy compared to the miners? MicroStrategy is approximately Bitcoin just like the miners are. It's a little bit less risky, I would say, than the miners. Maybe a little bit less volatile even. MicroStrategy usually does like a 2 to 3x on top of Bitcoin. It can overshoot sometimes, and it can undershoot as well. But for the most part, it's like a 2 to 3x. Whereas the miners in the bull run will trample over MicroStrategy in gains, but it's for a short period of time. We're looking like 9 to 12 months, somewhere around there, where they do really well compared to MicroStrategy on that one. As far as which miner am I bullish on? I'm bullish on all the miners really right now. You mean in bull run? If you got into the miners in the past year, right, year and a half or something like that, or if you're just getting into them now, I think you're going to do very well. Regardless, I still think Cleanspark, IREN, and Bitfarms are still way undervalued from where they really should be. So take it with not financial advice as always. Let's see. Thanks for the stream, Seb. You're very welcome. Always fun listening to everyone's thoughts. Have a good night. You too. Yeah, it's always fun. I always have a blast here. Let's see here. Thanks, Seb, for all your hard work. Cleanspark buyout 500. Oh, geez. That would be great. I would be able to retire at that point. Let's see. Roger says, Galaxy will buy out Cleanspark. It's bigger. It has big cash position. Is Galaxy bigger? I thought Galaxy had a smaller market cap. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at Galaxy in a while. Let's see. Price prediction on IREN. That's going up. As far as where does Bitcoin go, that'll depend on how high it goes. Let's see. Thanks, Seb. Have a good night. You too. Let's see. What would happen to Riot Amara in the market if Cleanspark is bought out? Fair value of Riot right now is about 23. Well, that's kind of interesting. So let's just say Cleanspark does get bought out, right, by a hyperscaler. What is the hyperscaler going to do? Are they going to be in there to mine Bitcoin? No. They're going to scrap everything. They're going to bulldoze the buildings out of there. They're going to build their tier 3 data centers that they want to build in there. So that just takes off right there. Basically, 30 exahash offline, just right then and there. That would be good for the miners, like Riot, Marathon, Bitfarms, because they're going to be generating actually more revenue because of that. So, let's see. Roger says, I think Cleanspark, yeah, I agree there. Anything under 30 would be a scam, yeah. We're still trying to figure that out. It could be anything. We'll find out tomorrow on that one. We were speculating a little bit. It could be a buyout, could be something to do with their CLSK warrants. Okay, late to the show. What's your thoughts on current Bitcoin price? Do you think we bounce around here right now for a bit? We could, or we could just bounce from here. I think we still have a little bit more ways to go. We could go to like 85, 90,000 before we kind of have a pullback a little bit. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it short term, right? We're looking at the longer term trend here. Longer term trend is going to be to the upside. See here, you and Dear Lewis are essential in the miner space. Otherwise, much more difficult to get a real perspective on this crazy space. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, Dear Lewis is great. Adrian is great there. There's a bunch of other guys there. I could name here, but I'd go on forever. That are great. Yeah, I try not to hype these guys up. I look at the data, and the data is what drives me. Right? It's not like that I have any allegiance to any of these guys. If they perform badly, I'll let you guys know about it. Right? If there's something that they do bad, I'll let you know about it. If they do great, I'll let you know about it. But it's all data driven here. I try to keep my emotions out of it as much as I can. Okay, what is the earliest data buyout deal can happen? I mean, you're probably looking at 2 to 3 quarters, right? I would think the earliest, somewhere around there. Okay. Hello, thank you for all you do. You're very welcome. What is your 1 week to 1 month outlook for coin MicroStrategy and the miners? Up. I'll just say up. Coin, I don't really follow MicroStrategy. I don't have either. I only look at it every once in a while here just to see where they are compared to Bitcoin. And the miners, they're going up. As long as Bitcoin's going up, they're going up. Okay, let's see. Sauer says, my wolf position is absolute printing. Also, Seb, tell me real quick what happened to Cleanspark, please. I just got here. We don't know. We're speculating. Buyout, something else with the CLSK warrants, which ran up crazily here in the last 2 days. That could be a reason for it. We'll have to find out tomorrow. Let's see. DK says, as always, you're the best. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are the best for coming in here, spending a little time with me here. Let's see here. Thank you for your insights. Great job as always. By the way, I am the only French person in here. You never know that. All right? I don't know if you just never know who is in here. We have people from all over the world. Okay. I wonder if you checked into Michael Howell at Cross Border Capital. I have not. No. Okay. Let's see here. Damn, so if we go to 85, 90,000 before a pullback, miners are going to rocket. I mean, we're not too far from 80,000 right now as it is. It won't take much. I mean, you could have a couple of days where we're up 3, 4, 5,000, and we're right there. Okay. Oh. Okay, let me see here. This is the best analysis I've found on global liquidity, indicating money flowing between central banks. I feel your analysis on miner holdings is the best I've found so far. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. So here, 7 people ask why the miners are lagging. It means, for example, why is Cleanspark only at 1357 when BTC is at an all-time high? Earlier this year, Cleanspark was at 24 when BTC was 72. Can you explain? Yes, the halving event. Basically, that's what happened. We had the halving event. The Bitcoin reached a new all-time high before the halving event, which has never happened before. So that's why Bitcoin ran up. Miners were running up at that point as well. Otherwise, the miners would have been going down into the halving event. But Bitcoin going up was the cause for them to go up as well. Then we had the halving event. Miners got repriced because of it, because they were generating half the revenue, right? So it's only fair that they're going to go down about 50% or something like that, even more than that. And then as Bitcoin was, starting to go back up, it takes a while, but right now is that time frame where the miners will get repriced dramatically, I think. In the next couple of weeks, couple of months, you will see that. Okay. Price target for Cleanspark end of year. Oh gosh, I have no idea. $18, $20 maybe. Maybe more than that, depending where Bitcoin goes. Bitcoin goes 2x. Well, Bitcoin would have to be 140,000 at that point. That might not happen. 100,000. We're looking at 2 to 3x on some of these guys here. How much exahash does grid acquisition will boost Cleanspark total x? It was not much, like 1 exahash or something like that, even less than that. Let's see here. Thank you, Seb. Hank, you're always welcome, buddy. You're the best. I appreciate it. Thank you. There's a lot of people in America who have French blood. We just Don't talk about it. Why? Be proud of your heritage. There's nothing to be ashamed of there. Okay. Can I sell Hive and buy Hut 8? I mean, I don't know. I think there's better miners out there than those guys, but I could be wrong on it. So that's up to you on that one. All right, I think I'm all caught up here. Let's see here. Any answer for Jim Paul's question? Jim Paul, let me see if I can find it really quick. Jim Paul, did I miss your question? I'm trying to go through. Okay, yeah, I just covered it here a second ago. Talked about this one. So this is a question here from Jim Paul. Yeah, so it's basically the halving event was the big catalyst that drove the miners down while Bitcoin was still, going. Well, Bitcoin came down to like in the 50s and things like that. Went down also, but the miners didn't keep up with it at that point, right? They just continued to go down because the halving event cut their revenues in half. So that's the reason why. All right. Let's see. All right. We'll call it a day, guys. We're going on basically an hour and 15 minutes here. So we are good. We'll see what happens tomorrow with Cleanspark, obviously, right? Hopefully we get a response. There was somebody on Twitter that said it could take up to 10 days or something like that until Nasdaq gets their information that they want. That could be halted, which I haven't seen that happen. Or at least I haven't seen it happen, but there could be a possibility there. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. What else is happening? I don't know if anybody's reporting tomorrow or not. We'll go through. Tomorrow's Friday, so typically we don't do a stream on Friday, right? Because everybody's celebrating the end of the week. If something major happens, Cleanspark gets bought out or something like that, we'll have a stream. Other than that, we won't have a stream. We'll do a stream on Sunday. I need to take at least 2 days off here to recoup, I guess. Get my mental acuity back because that's crazy, right? From Sunday through Thursday, I'm basically like from 7 o'clock in the morning till like 12 o'clock at night. It's just go, go, go. All right. So if I don't talk to you guys tomorrow on Friday, have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Greatly appreciate you guys for coming in here. Love you all. Be safe out there and keep smiling. Bitcoin's going up. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.